Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
KUGAN CASSIUS Eiffel team in association with Macklin's in Marbella. We're at the Nordhoff Robbins charity event here, where Dave has just been awarded an award for being an icon.
Apparently so, yeah. It's nice to be recognised for my 26 years of getting punched in the head. So, yeah, it's nice. Good. Obviously, everyone's here to support a great charity, as you said, the Nordhoff Robbins charity. Fantastic charity. I was out last week in Royal Albert Hall to see these guys do their thing. Nordhoff Robbins sort of session with an 8-year-old girl with severe learning difficulties, and it really was touching to see how music impacted her life and how it woke her up. You know, and they obviously do it with young kids, they do it with elderly people with dementia and whatnot, and it's a great charity. And we're all here, you know, obviously the guys fighting, and all the ex-boxers are here to sort of raise money for a great charity.
Reading up a little bit about the Nordhoff Robbins charity, it seems a very unorthodox method of therapy, but it seems to work.
It really does, you know. As I said when I was up there in the ring, you know, music is the backbone of my world, my life. You know, I have music playing when I wake up in the morning, when I drive in my car, when I'm at the gym, when I'm warming up. I have a certain type of music, and I know that it can affect people, and people who may not be able to acknowledge voices and words play music, and it wakes them up. It's very strange how it works, but these guys have tapped into that, and they're really helping many people all over the country, you know, young and old, with music therapy.
Now, we only spoke to you around 8 days ago.
Is that what it was?
It was, yeah, 8 days ago,
okay.
After the Bellew fight against BJ Flores, and it seems like a lot has happened but hasn't really happened at the same time. Yeah. I think we understand tonight that Wladimir Klitschko will not be fighting at all this year. He's got a recurrence of a calf injury. So what's your thoughts on that, David?
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, I was really looking forward to that fight with Anthony Joshua. I thought it was the perfect fight for Anthony, you know, at the right time for him. Obviously, it was a big fight that would have got a lot of attention. You know, although Wladimir Klitschko lost his last fight and hasn't fought for a year, he still has that Klitschko name, and that Klitschko name, you know, generates excitement, particularly when you're fighting a British fighter like Anthony Joshua, who is unbeaten. So, you know, you've got to feel a little sorry for Anthony Joshua. This was probably his sort of coming out party. That fight against Klitschko was him announcing to the world, yes, I am the main man in the heavyweight division. And it's unfortunate he didn't get the opportunity to do that. I believe he's probably going to fight Molina, who Chris Arreola knocked out in one round. So don't expect that to go very far.
David Price also in the mix there?
No, he won't fight David Price. He'd fight Molina. Pretty sure about that. Yeah, I don't think he'd fight David Price.
Okay, is that something you know that
no,
we don't?
I just don't think he'd fight David Price. I just don't think. I think. Although David Price, I think it's a no-win situation for Joshua. David Price. David Price is very dangerous. Apparently, you heard rumours that he knocked Joshua out in sparring when Joshua was an amateur. Doesn't really mean anything, but that coupled with the fact that he's lost to Tony Thompson, who's 58, he's lost to Erkan Tepe, who looks like works in a kebab shop. That doesn't, and he hasn't beat anybody recently. If he knocks him out, so what? He should knock him out. But if it's a hard fight, he could be then judged against those guys. At least with Molina. Molina's only recent loss, I think, is against Deontay Wilder. That's right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the only. So I think he lost on points or got stopped late or something like that against Deontay Wilder. So not bad. You can then compare his knockout against this guy to Wilder's knockout, and he went a few rounds with Wilder. So, but Joshua would chin him in a couple of rounds. So that makes more sense. On paper, it makes more sense. You know, David Price, unfortunately, I think he's a great talent. He always has been a great talent. And I think now that he's working with Dave, that he's kind of got himself together. He's put a little bit more weight on, so he's settled into it a bit more. I always thought he was a little too slim. He was 6'10", and he was only like 17 stone, and it's not that big for someone that tall. So now he's put a little bit more timber on. His chin should be a bit better. He might pack a little bit more of a punch. As long as he's got the endurance to move that big mass around, he should be okay. But looking at it from Joshua's point of view, I think it's kind of a hiding to nothing. He doesn't gain anything from beating David Price other than a measuring stick, also against Tepper and Tony Thompson, which he doesn't really be compared to them. He can only lose in that fight. So I think he'll go with Molina. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they're going to get an all-British clash. But I just doubt it. Knowing how boxing works, I just doubt that'll happen. I think if they did fight, I think it'd be a good. I'd be very interesting, because one thing David Price does is lets his hands go, and obviously coming off those losses, having a new coach, putting some weight on, he might have some more confidence, because he was on a bad run of confidence, obviously with the 2 losses to Tony Thompson, 2 bad losses against Tony Thompson, and then the Tepper one. It was like what's going on here? But people reinvent themselves. I believe I have. I believe I'm new and improved, and maybe David Price is, but he's got to knock. I'd say he should jump in there with the likes of Chisora, who's here tonight, or Dylan White, or those guys, those sort of British level guys, to kind of mix it up to see who's the number 1 out of them fellas.
So, as we believe, the winner of the Ruiz against Parker fight has to fight you in 20 days, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, so that's something I heard day before yesterday. So that's good news. So if I just go to Barbados on holiday for 3 months, I'll have a world title fight. Great. Not that I'm going to do that, but it's a lovely option to have on the table. Both of those fighters are young, unbeaten. I think Parker looks better physically than Andy Ruiz Jr. He looks better physically, but there are certain fighters who don't have the best physiques who can fight. So I've heard from people that Ruiz fights a lot better than he looks. And I hope so, otherwise he wouldn't have got into the position he has done in the rankings. But it'd be an interesting fight, 2 young guys. But someone was telling me, I'm not sure if it's once again a sparring rumour, that Ruiz busted Parker up in sparring. Obviously sparring, big gloves, head guard. You don't know whether Parker did his sprints 10 minutes before he did the sparring, and Ruiz just finished a full training camp. You never know, it's just sparring. But it's an intriguing fight. It's an intriguing fight. It's mad that it's for the WBO heavyweight title, as neither of those guys. I think Parker's fought the best guy. He fought Carlos Takam. Won a points decision against Carlos Takam. So I think out of the 2 of them, that was the best victory. If you look through all of their records, I think that's the only standout name of all the fighters they fought that I thought, that's a good win. That he won on points, close fight on points, but he won it. He proved he can go 12 rounds. So I think out of the 2 of them, looking on the records, I'd have to side with Parker winning that one.
As complicated as this WBA situation seems, even though we've learned a little bit more tonight, where do you fit into that? Because common sense kind of says, why don't you just fight Lucas Browne for the WBA title, whichever one it is, the regular or the...
Because unfortunately, boxing doesn't work with who I want to fight. The other person has to want to fight. The governing body has to want me to fight. And as you said, there's a lot of people with legal claims that they should get the next shot. There's rankings. I'm not ranked that high. You've got probably 5 fighters ranked above me. So for me to jump in and do that, I'd love that to happen. I'm not sure if they're going to do a rejig of the rankings. I've got no clue. But whatever the decision is, and we'll all sort of take it from there. But you know what? I'm not that fussed. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what decisions they make, it'll be for the greater good, whatever it is. And in 2017, I will be heavyweight champion again. I know it. I feel it in my waters, and I'm cool. When it happens, beginning, end, I don't care. So I know when I get in the ring for that title, all of the experience, all those 26 years of experience that I've had, all those tough training camps, all those injuries, all that experience as an amateur, as a professional, will all come together, and I don't believe anybody can collectively have the experience that I've got.
Has there been any movement on Tony Bellew versus SpongeBob? I mean, Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, I had a quick chat to Eddie. He asked if it would be something I might be interested in. I said, why not? I said, of course I'm interested. No, I think it's free money. It really is. It's like, who doesn't want to be handed a bag of cash to like jab a joker? You know, so it's, as I said before, I'll knock him out of a jab, I'll knock him out of a jab. If you want to pay me a load of money to knock someone out of a jab, then it's something that, okay, whilst I'm waiting for these world title fights, marking time fight could happen. So it's really, listen, anything could happen in boxing, and with the titles, as you said, being up in the air, you know, who knows? Anything can happen in boxing.
Just finally, obviously, your plan is still, I'm assuming, to fight at the end of this year. It always has been the plan for you to fight at the end of this year. So where are you as in regards to making an announcement on that?
I'm standing here in in Hyde Park. Yeah, that's all literally behind the scenes, working on the master plan right now. As soon as I know, everyone got really upset when I did the that announcement. I said I'm to do an announcement soon, but people didn't really get it. It was to raise awareness for cancer and.
As serious as the cause is, which is it is brilliant. What everyone's doing, I think, in your current state, waiting to announce a fight, I think it may have got people's backs up.
People don't realise they wanted to do it that way, and I thought, yeah, I thought people would see the kind of okay, it just direct people to something to it. But some people really took umbrage to that, and they were waiting all day long. Then they got it. It was like, you're doing some charity work, you scumbag. And I was like, okay, well. Okay, I'm trying to raise awareness.
Me and James didn't think you were a scumbag, but we were waiting, and I was texting people going, Haye's announcing tomorrow.
That was the idea, because there's nothing to announce currently, so I thought, okay, what good can we do from, okay, how about some awareness for a great cause? So
it is awareness for a great cause, yeah.
Stand up to cancer, it's all about awareness, you know, if you're aware of cancer, testicular cancer, for instance, you know, if you check your nuts, you're aware of it, you're checking your nuts. Oh, the amount of people that can be cured from testicular cancer by catching it early. It's all just about awareness. It's about knowing about it. If you don't know about it, there you go. So, but obviously some hardcore boxing fans like yourself wasn't feeling my. No,
I was feeling it after, but listen, it was when we're expecting saying. I did text a few people saying Haye's announcing tomorrow.
Was it? I know. I got a few abusive emails, but. Or text or WhatsApps or whatever it is. So it's life. You can't please everybody all the time. No. You really can't.
No, certainly not. All right, David, listen, thanks for giving us a little bit of time. And we still wait imminently for news regarding you and every other heavyweight in the world.
Yes, we all do. We're all sitting here patiently waiting. But things will fall into place very soon. I'm very positive about that.
David, thanks for talking to us.
No problem.